Once upon a time, in a peaceful countryside, a cow was making her way home after grazing. She walked along the familiar path through the countryside until she reached a narrow wooden bridge that crossed over a small stream. As she approached, she noticed a goat on the opposite side of the bridge. The goat was eagerly making her way across, heading to the other side for some fresh green grass. The bridge was old and narrow, just wide enough for one animal to cross at a time. The cow, who was rather large and strong, reached the edge of the bridge first. She paused, hearing a faint clacking of hooves from the other side. On the far end, she spotted a goat. The goat, smaller but confident, had also arrived and was just about to step onto the bridge. Both animals were eager to cross, but the cow and the goat were stubborn. Each thought they should be the one to go first. The cow called out, "Step aside, goat, I'm much bigger than you, and I should be the one to go first." The goat, however, wasn't intimidated. With a determined stamp of her hoof, she replied, "Just because you're bigger doesn't mean you get to go first. I got here too, and I have as much right to cross as you do." The two stared at each other from opposite ends of the bridge, neither one willing to back down. Finally, both decided that they'd cross at the same time, even if it meant squeezing past each other. Slowly they each stepped onto the bridge, moving toward the center. As they moved closer, the bridge creaked and groaned under their combined weight. It wobbled slightly, but neither the cow nor the goat paid any mind. Each was focused on getting across first. When they finally met in the middle, there was no room to pass. They tried nudging and pushing, each stubbornly refusing to turn back. They began to argue loudly, and as their quarrel grew, the bridge began to sway more dangerously. The cow, heavy and strong, tried to inch past, and the goat, nimble but stubborn, stood her ground. Then suddenly the bridge lurched. Losing their balance, both animals slipped and tumbled off the bridge, splashing into the shallow river below. The cool water shocked them out of their argument, and both quickly scrambled to their feet, drenched but unharmed. The cow and the goat looked at each other, realizing how foolish they had been. Neither had been willing to yield, and as a result they both had fallen into the water. With a sheepish smile, the cow said, "Maybe it would have been wiser to let one of us cross first." The goat nodded in agreement. "Yes, we should have cooperated instead of arguing." And so they climbed out of the river and decided to take turns crossing. First, the cow carefully made her way across the bridge, while the goat waited patiently on the other side. Once the cow was safely across, the goat followed, crossing smoothly to the other side. From that day on, both the cow and the goat remembered this lesson whenever they faced a similar situation. They understood that cooperation and patience were far more valuable than pride and stubbornness. And whenever they crossed that narrow bridge again, they took turns with a smile, knowing that working together brought them both safely to the other side.